Hello and welcome to another unboxing video. This time we move on to another one of the Sarissa precision building kits that came with Warlord Games Epic Battles American Civil War. You can purchase these separately as well. I got them part of the bundle. This is the North American 15mm Civil War scenery set. So I'm going to open it up, have a little look at the kit inside, and then I'll come back to you when I've built them. Right then, so as per the last kit, really nicely printed, detailed set of instructions. I've only built the one of this sort of this kind of era of stuff before, which you'll have already seen on the channel. If you haven't already, go and check that video out. There's pictures of it painted and things as well. So the barn style building here looks very similar to that, and there's a different style building there as well. And then there's the third building in the kit, which is it looks like a larger stable or something like that. And let's have a little look at the sheets. There we go. Looks pretty basic stuff. The first kit looked very basic, but it went together extremely well. I'm hoping this will be the same. And also painted up really well as well. So MDF in its probably its least exciting form. But three fairly simple buildings there. I imagine they're going to go together quite easily. So what I'll do is I'll build them, and we'll come back and we'll have a look at them when they're built. And here we are with all three completed. Didn't take me too long. This first one was incredibly quick. It took me 5 minutes pushing it off the frame and gluing it together. Really easy. Pretty simple. Yeah, went together like a dream, just like the one I showed you on the previous building, so the standard farmhouse that came in every starter kit. Very impressed with that one. And then I moved on to this one after. Now this one's a little bit harder, just a little bit more fiddly really, and I had a couple of issues. I've got no experience putting together how these things are designed on CAD and things like that, but it definitely was a little bit more tricky to go together, and I've probably made a couple of mistakes with it. This little bit of wood here doesn't quite match up with the same with the bottle, so the whole thing is just out maybe by a mil or two somewhere. It will make no difference by the time I've painted it, and I've added a few tufts and a bit of weathering and mud around the bottom. I'm still very happy with it, but it definitely didn't go together as easier as the other two. It is a more complex building, but still very nice. And I think in terms of its value in the starter bundle, and even as a value as a 3-pack of buildings in one kit, it's pretty good as well. So equally happy with it. But you can see there's a couple of little bits have been damaged while I was sort of taking it off, and that's probably my fault more than anything else. I did use super glue, but these bits are quite weak when you've got just a sort of the matchstick thickness part. So these middle ones fitted in, glued into there, those ones didn't. So a couple of minor issues with it, but it must just as likely to have been me than to do with the design. But a nice little house, different design to the others, pretty cool. And then the larger barn, so slightly easier than that little one. Again, I've used super glue for speed. I think the more complicated one probably took me about 25 minutes, and this took me about 20 minutes. But again, very happy with it. Decent sized. These are going to be an issue unless the easy answer is to obviously mount these on a base. I don't always like to do that, because I prefer to sort of stick a bit of weathering along the edge and a tuft on the side, like I did with the first one I've done. If you haven't seen that already, go check back on the channel. There's a video of the first one painted, I think, is in one of my hobby vlogs. and then they fit nicely whatever style mat I use, whether if I base them. They might not always blend in, so I like to not put them on bases, but I may have to do something with those, or that I'm going to lose those. Those are going to fall off. But all in all, pretty good value. They're pretty good. They'll paint up very, very nicely, I'm sure, just like the last one. There won't be any painted ones on this video. I'm not quite sure when they're going to hit the painting table as such. It may well be next week, it may well be a month's time or 2 months time or something, depends on the mood takes me. It might just be when I need a little bit of a break from painting the little dudes. I just feel like doing a piece of terrain, which is sometimes a little bit easier. Sometimes when I'm tired after a long day's painting to work, I want to do something simple, and I might decide to do one of those then. Right then, just before I go, I just wanted to dig out some other terrains. There's been a little bit of chat on some of the groups about whether these as pure 15mm scale are actually too big, and whether you can get away with using 10mm buildings. So first of all, there's a stand there. You can see how well they scale against. It looks fine to me. I'm not a scale expert. I'm sure there's someone out there that will say if you measure the average size door then it's too big, or compared to the man or something like that. I don't know. It feels fine, to be honest with you. It feels close enough. The same with the barn. Sorry, the same with the stables. I think they are, and the same with this. Maybe the barn's too small. I don't know. It feels fine. I can't really see any issues. Now, these will look drastically small. I picked up these 10mm buildings before I received my box. They were cheap on eBay, nice little resin cast. I don't know the name of the company. It's via an eBay seller, and they don't always list the company name on there. Obviously much too small for, especially when compared to these. I think there is an argument if you take these out of the way and you are playing the game maybe using different rules or at a smaller scale, so maybe there's people out there I know that are kind of just using 2 stand for regular size, not really doing tiny or anything like that, so making very small regiments. On a large battlefield, yes, the scale is clearly wrong. These guys are a little bit too small for those buildings. You could maybe get away with it if you're deliberately making the scale of your battlefield slightly more abstract. So you could do it if you wanted to. If you found these MDF things too large and they took up too much table space to represent what you wanted, then you could probably get away with some of this stuff. I'm not going to use it, I don't think. I think some of it depends on the building as well, so you might be able to get away with it with one little building like that as a little shack or something like that. But as soon as you stick a church on there like that, it looks tiny. And I may well be doing some 10mm Peninsula war using black powder in the future. That's the plan, unless Warlord Games drop Napoleonics in this scale. So I may well look to use those buildings there. The timber ones probably don't quite fit the period. Probably get away with using that, but we'll see. But I just thought I'd pop those in as well, really, and just talk about them as I had them at hand. But I'm happy enough with these. I've got these 3. I've got the original one. That's 4 buildings. That's definitely enough to keep me going for a while, and I'll wait till I start playing some games and just decide which battles I want to recreate, really. As soon as I have a project beyond the painting of all these, I will no doubt pick some buildings that suit what I need for a particular reenactment of the particular campaign or battle I wanted to do. But anyway, thanks for watching this little unboxing video, and I'll catch you on the next one.